I arrived in the Dominican Republic September of '97. I had no idea of the magnitude of all that I was going to confront.
Padre de verdad, él tiene que comprender que a la comunidad no lo quiere.
El cura o lo sacan del país o lo vamos a sacar nosotros. Ese es un cura enemigo de la República.
The town of Los Llanos in the Dominican Republic is the center of Father Christopher Hartley's parish. Every day, he goes out to the sugar plantations, to the tiny villages known as bates, where Dominicans rarely go.
One of the first things I was told, some of the people in the Dominican Republic came to me and said, by the way, remember that you're not allowed into the Vicini batallas. It took me 3 months to muster the courage to go into the sugarcane fields. ¿Cómo están?
The growing and harvesting of Dominican sugarcane is done almost entirely by laborers from Haiti. What Father Christopher saw in the plantations, he began to document.
Dígame una cosa, ¿y usted anda descalzo?
Descalzo, ese no vale para uno con familia, va a comprar una bota.
Yeah. ¿Usted es rico o es pobre?
Nosotros somos pobres.
Somos pobres.
Pobres felices, Dios está ayudando a nosotros.
Dios nos ayuda.
Sí, Dios está ayudando a
I'm very
nosotros.
poor, but God is always on
Nosotros
our
somos
side.
pobres. Hay días nosotros duermen sin comer.
¿Qué pasó? Muy bien. Gradually, I began to learn more about their situation. What I discovered was truly appalling.
Eso me ha salido así, sin más para allá y sin más para acá.
Los otros días, no hace mucho, yo me metí a limpiarlo y le saqué hasta macos de adentro.
¿Cómo va a ser?
Sí.
Maquitos se le sacaron.
¿Pero ustedes se van a enfermar bebiendo ese agua?
Pero aquí los niños aquí están llenos de parásitos.
Parásitos.
Todo desnutrido de los parásitos del
Sí.
agua.
¿Para cuántos es que tú cocinas ahí? ¿Cuánta gente?
Uy, mucha gente.
¿Cuántos
8
viven
gente.
aquí? ¿8? ¿Para 8?
Sí.
Muy bien. ¿Y aquí cuántos viven?
7, padre.
¿Aquí 7?
Sí.
Ven. A ver, cuando se levantaron por la mañana, ¿qué comieron? Hay que hablar la verdad al padre. Todavía no han comido nada.
Breaking a centuries-old taboo, the father brings in outsiders, American doctors, to see what they can do to help.
¿Te caíste de dónde? ¿Qué es lo que tú te has puesto ahí? ¿Eso qué es? What he's curing his wound with toothpaste.
really these are some of the worst conditions that I've ever seen. This is really extreme poverty. Families are living without access to water, without access to food, without access to, really any health care or any infrastructure at all.
The Haitian workers are under armed guard. They are not allowed to leave the plantations.
People come here in the hope of a better life. The truth of the matter is that they make less than 90 cents a day.
And instead of cash, they receive vouchers, which they can redeem for high-priced food at a company store.
¿Pero a ti no te gustaría volver a tu país y ver si tu familia está viva?
No, porque no tiene con quién va.
No tienes con qué ir.
No.
No tienes nada.
No.
He was told that he was going to make a very good wage when he was brought as a very young man in 1976. And he realizes that the end of his life is going to come here at the Batey, and he has absolutely nothing. That's the expression that he used in Spanish. Yo no tengo nada. I have nothing. All he has is the roof that the company has put over his head, lets him stay for as long as he is useful.
The Dominican Republic is a vacationer's paradise. Europeans and Americans flock here in the winter months. But just inland from the coast are the sugar plantations. 250,000 acres of them. The country's most important agricultural industry. The Dominican Republic shares a Caribbean island with Haiti. It was here that African slaves were first used in the Americas to cut sugarcane. The two nations make uneasy neighbors. Haiti is one of the most dysfunctional countries in the world, rife with poverty and violence. To Haitians, the Dominican Republic, though itself a poor country, offers the promise of survival. There are 5 large sugar companies in the Dominican Republic. The Vicini family, which owns most of the plantations in Father Christopher's parish, is one of the wealthiest.
And here is the boss here. He got the people working for him here. Many people working for him here. Many. He's very rich. He got houses. Oh my God, every kind of houses. 20 million, 10 million the house, 40 million. Beautiful house.
The Vicini family's business interests extend beyond sugar to include banking, property, and the media. Gustavo Peña is the editor of Clave Digital, an online newspaper that has managed to maintain its independence.
Los Vicini se han llevado bien con los dictadores, con los presidentes democráticos. Y siempre se dice que ellos son parte del poder tras bastidores aquí en República Dominicana. Siempre se ha dicho que lo que pida un Vicini, un presidente no se lo puede negar.
In fact, the second Vicini to run the family sugar business, Juan Bautista, was president of the Dominican Republic in the early 1920s. The network of Vicini corporations is currently run by Juan Bautista and Felipe Vicini. Despite their prominence, they keep out of the public eye. There are few published photographs of the family, and they are rarely mentioned in the press. The Vicini refused to be interviewed for this film.
¿Y de quién es esta casa, ¿Perdón?
De los vecinos.
El padre Christopher y la persona que apoyan al padre Christopher han sido muy valientes.
Ana Matila Laura works for the TV station Tele Antillas.
Es un poder que está en todas partes. Es como una mano invisible que tiene mucho poder de control.
Father Christopher is on his way to the Haitian border with Father Pedro Rucroix, a Belgian priest who has been helping the sugarcane workers here for 30 years. They want to see for themselves how the sugar companies bring Haitians into the country.
Haitians are recruited by what are called buscones, who work for the companies, go across the border into Haiti and recruit approximately 30,000 men every harvest season.
Their journey takes them far from the tourist resorts and the sugar plantations up into the mountains near the border with Haiti. Father Christopher knows where the buscones bring the Haitians across because of a tip-off from a Vicini employee.
How we got wind of this story is actually very ironic. This Haitian who worked as one of the buscones came to me complaining that the person for whom he had rounded up 200 men had not paid him. So in other words, he was a slave merchant who had not received his reward and was coming to the priest asking for justice. So we brought Darío into my house, and with a video camera, we asked him to tell us the whole story.
Luego, ¿dónde lo llevó? Me llevó en la frontera de Puerto Contigo. ¿Y quién está en la frontera a la Guardia Dominicana? Su empleado, una compañía, la oficina que lo paga.
The government's complicity in human trafficking is obvious as soon as the priests reach the army post near the frontier.
Por aquí no es por donde pasan los que van a trabajar a los bates que vienen indocumentados y todo eso.
Sí, pasan por allá arriba.
Pasan por allá arriba.
Sí.
¿Y en estos días han estado pasando mucho?
Sí, ellos pasan, porque esa gente se van a pie, ellos pasan.
¿Y ustedes allá arriba no pueden hacer nada? ¿No se pueden ir de aquí o...?
No, ya uno sabe, uno no broma con esa gente. Nosotros con esa gente no bromamos. ¿Y quién aguanta todo eso negro aquí en la frontera?
By nightfall, Father Christopher and Father Pedro reach the border camp. Here, Haitians are made to wait until they can be shipped to the plantations.
¿Cuántos días van a estar esperando?
Nadie sabe.
Nadie sabe.
The man who directs the shipment of Haitians to the Vicini cane fields is named Merite.
Señor Felipe, soy el jefe segundo mayor de Comté. Que tanto Merite, no estoy aquí, no hay ya. O sea que si Merite no está presente, usted no puede traer. No puede traer ni una persona.
These people have been lured across the border with tales of good jobs. They are so desperate, they've even paid Merite's men to bring them here.
¿Cómo es tu nombre?
Espinal.
¿Dónde vives tú, Espinal?
Allá en Chicafé.
¿Y a dónde vas?
Yo voy a buscar trabajo, la vida.
¿Dónde?
De Santo Domingo.
¿De Santo Domingo?
Primer año yo voy.
¿Tú nunca has picado caña antes?
No.
¿Tú no sabes picar caña?
Bueno, yo voy a ver porque yo soy hombre, como quiera yo voy a trabajar.
A trabajar.
But Espinal has been brought across the border for only one purpose, to cut cane. Haitians who have documents or identity cards are stripped of them. They are now stateless, illegal, and subject to arrest everywhere in the Dominican Republic, except on the plantations.
They are bussed into the batallas 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, so they do not know where they are, and therefore cannot escape, cannot run away.
Now, hey, concentration camp?
Are we going to be able to shoot here,
See, I don't see why not. We're going to get into a lot of trouble. But if you don't mind it.
Let's take it.
No. Shoot as fast as you can because you don't know how many seconds you're going to have before you're kicked out. The sooner we can get out of here, guys, the better, huh? Ready? Hold on. Well, guys, I hope it was useful. This is where they're going to put the workers when they arrive. Anywhere from 60 to 100 people will be crammed into this one barrack. You can see all the wiring up on the top, which is to prevent them from escaping at night. And they will have armed men at the door of the barracks at night, so they don't attempt to flee the barrack in the night.
Batallas are like a state within a state, because the company there is the police, is the government. They exercise absolute authority over the lives of those who dwell there, which is quasi-slavery.
Se sabe sí que ellos han conseguido becas, que pagan más o menos bien a sus empleados ejecutivos y los que están aquí en la capital, pero nunca se ha entendido el por qué esta familia, en los batalles de ellos, son donde peor se trata al empleado del campo, al bracero, viviendo en condiciones realmente que recuerdan las barracas de la Edad Media, ¿no? De esclavista, una cosa increíble, ¿no?
As many as 1 million Haitians live in the Dominican Republic. No one knows for certain how many live in the batallas.
Mi nombre es Johnny Belisaire. Mis padres son inmigrantes haitianos. Entonces nací en un batey.
Yo trabajo de niño. Desde la edad de 7 años mi papá me llevaba para el corte con él y él picaba la caña y yo le juntaba la caña y durábamos el día entero en el corte.
No importando el sexo, eso trabajan. Tanto las hembras como los varones trabajan.
Mi nombre es Yela Machaza, yo nací en Haití. Yo viví ahora en un batey que se llama Canepa. Yo vení para acá porque en el 94 se fue el presidente que había allá. Había matación de gente. El marido mío es el picador de la caña. lo que gana no da para educar a sus hijos, no da para comprar ni uniforme ni nada, porque no da ni para comer.
The Bate dwellers get much of their calories from chewing sugarcane. Their diet often leads to malnutrition.
Yo tengo 25 años y yo nací en este batey y nunca le he visto la cara al dueño personalmente, a ese vecino, venir acá y sentarse, por lo menos pasar y preguntarle a la gente cómo se siente, cómo es que anda la cosa. Nunca lo he visto, solamente pasa en su helicóptero.
Most of this product ends up in the United States. The United States purchases the raw material. It's processed in the refineries in the United States, and it ends up on the American table. I'm sure most American families would be very embarrassed to know at what price they put sugar in their coffee every morning. The Vicini family have a lot of blood on their hands. This is well known. Nobody dares speak out and say it because many people fear for their lives or the lives of their loved ones. And this is a fact. People disappear. People are never found.
In an unmarked corner of the Vicini plantation is a cemetery.
Dominicans don't know of this cemetery. I only found this place about 7-8 months ago, and I've been here for 7 years. And nobody had ever mentioned it. It's like a taboo place. You're standing on people's bodies, all of this. It's not just where you see crosses. Some are very obvious. You can just see those lumps. Why all of a sudden there's no grass over there? I mean, this is tropical weather. Everything grows in 5 minutes. This is the man who was murdered the night of December 7th. He was beaten as he was climbing into the bus to come across the border, and he was found dead on arrival at the Vicini Batey called Copellito.
Dario told the priest that Merite, the Vicini's chief plantation guard, was a cruel and brutal man.
Él a mí no me dice si parlavo afuera como un guardia, ella como un palo en mi mano. Si una anda rápido ella da un yaguazo.
There was a struggle because there were many hundreds of people trying to get into these buses, and clearly not enough buses. This individual couldn't make it through the door of the bus, and Merite hit him with a stick across the chest. But he was so eager to get into the bus that he crawled in, and Merite just let him go. When they arrived here in Copellito, this man is still lying down. They go and shake him, and he's dead.
The next day, a body was dumped in the unmarked cemetery. But believing you know what happened and proving it are different matters.
The weakness of the case is the link between the physical violence and the fact that this was the same person. Darío heard of that, but he wasn't present when they found the man dead. And he wasn't present at the burial. So we would need an autopsy. We would need a permit from the judge. Especially being a Haitian, a judge is going to be very reluctant to take the case of a crime that could directly or indirectly be attributed to the Vicini company. The Vicini family have indirectly many times tried to pressure me to not go into the Bates. In fact, that's one of the great fears of the Spanish embassy, the American embassy, is that what would happen if they stop you, they deliberately and explicitly forbid you from entering the Bates. And I've always said, I would certainly go anyway. I don't care what they did to me. And they know very well how determined I am to change this system.
Sí, buenas. ¿Podría hablar con Carolina Núñez, por favor?
January 20th, the year 2000, I was here in my residence when this lady comes to say, Father, President Leonel Fernandez is coming tomorrow to Batey Gautier for some political activity, and it is the custom in the Dominican Republic. They always invite the priest to give an invocation or to say a prayer to invoke God's blessing on the president, on the people, and so on. And what was supposed to be a simple blessing became a 5-page speech. I was very brave the night I wrote it. And I was shivering with fear when I suddenly had to read out the words that I had very courageously written. I was describing the horrible living conditions and telling the president that he had come to the threshold of hell.
The publicity forced the Vicini into discussions with the church. For 3 years, the family held meetings with a committee that included the priest, the bishop, and the church's lawyer, Noemi Méndez.
Pues cuando llegó el momento de la acción, cuando dijimos hay que hacer un presupuesto, tenemos que tener conocimiento de qué es lo que se va a hacer, de dónde se va a hacer. Entonces, de repente, la próxima reunión no se hizo. Y la próxima no se hizo y nos dejaron esperando.
And then came the death threats.